here with the Nerds of Color. And wow, I mean, what a dream interview. Wizards was my childhood growing up, and now I get to have it back for my adulthood. David, thank you. I needed it. And really just an honor and a privilege to be here talking with you guys. Thank you for your time.
You're really sweet. That makes me really happy. Thank you for saying that.
And the screeners made me start rewatching. So I'm
Ah,
trapped now. We're down the rabbit hole once again.
love it. Love it.
David, I would love to start with you. Did your younger self have any idea how special Wizard would become not only for you, but for audiences? And, so many actors want to leave certain projects in the past. So I think it's so wonderful that you not only want to revisit it, but give magic to a whole new generation. I mean, the Russos are coming home.
Yeah, people who neglect their past or what they're known for or run away from that, in a way, it kind of devalues the fans' experience that they had watching that. And that was a special moment for that person watching that show. And if you're to run away from that or say, I don't want to be known for that or poo-poo that, then you're really taking away a meaningful experience from someone. And to me, I'm so grateful for all the impact that it's had on people, and it just seems to grow and grow and grow. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, I'm incredibly grateful, and I realize the responsibility that I have in bringing this back, resurrecting the IP to make sure it's done right. My goal. I was so happy to hear what you said at the beginning of the call because my goal really was to try to give the original fan a big hug and let them know that
You
we care
did.
about them, but at the same time create maybe an invitation where the original fan can go, you know what?
Yeah.
I might have a young person I want to bring into this new thing. And maybe I remember when I was a kid watching it with my parent or an uncle or an aunt, and that was a special moment for me. So hopefully this will also be an invitation to the original fan to be like, I'm going to grab a niece or a nephew or a cousin or my own child to watch this with me.
Yeah. I mean, I am Italian and Cuban, so it was the Russos were that was the first time I
Yes.
saw a scene on television. So it's so special. And Janice, I love Billy. I love you. I love your character. You are killing it from the episodes I have seen. But what do you consider to be the key to Billy's character? Like, what is one small detail that might seem insignificant, but to you, it really helps inform the way you play her?
I think for me, because I definitely have a lot in common with her, I think the biggest thing is kind of mistrusting family in a way. Because I feel like that's something that maybe a lot of people may be scared to touch on or maybe, back away from a little bit. So the fact that my character kind of shows that for a lot of people, because I know some of my friends kind of mistrust family a lot, or they're dealing with family issues, or feeling alone in their family and everything. So to me, the fact that I got to play a character who doesn't really, or never had family, or who was always abandoned by adult authority figures in her life, it genuinely means a lot to me. So the fact that I get to play such a misunderstood character who doesn't really have anyone, but is being accepted into a family that she never thought she'd be accepted of, which is the Russos, and being able to get taught a lot while expecting the worst out of it. I think it kind of really shows the value of, at least to me, that if you look at things in a more positive way, then it'll come in a positive way. It kind of shows, like from like the pilot, for example, with everything, like with the flugy, I think it kind of showed like if you think of things in a negative way, you're most likely going to get a negative result. But if you think of
Yeah.
things in a positive way, you're most likely going to get a positive result. So it definitely meant a lot to me.
Billy Justin dynamic. I mean, obviously, Justin and Alex's dynamic was such a big part of the show for the original. And I feel like Justin getting this dynamic with Billy later in his life when he needs it most, not even just when she needs it, was such a special thing. And the fact that Alex brought her into his life, I mean, I just, such a full circle thing there. What was it like for you both to like work on that dynamic and bring it to the screen? Because it's obviously my favorite part of the show. Come on. You could tell from the way
Aw.
I'm talking about it.
Yeah, no, it's I call season one the rebirth for
Yeah.
Justin because although he's got what he most wanted, which is a wife and a family and children, and he's teaching, which are all things he cares about and loves and he wants, there's a piece of him that hasn't really moved on from the past because there was some injustice that happened in the past. And this really is a rebirth of a side of himself that I don't think he ever really wanted to walk away from, but kind of had to. So I love that she's the catalyst to that within him. That's why I call the first season kind of the rebirth. because I think, and it's very relatable to anyone. I think maybe a lot of people have things in their past that they felt like, you know what, I walked away from this a little too early, or I was forced out in a way that I didn't want to be. And you know what? It's never too late. It's never too late to pick that back up. You know.
I think for me, when I really think about Billy, I think it's like that feeling of feeling neglected by everyone she thought would stay. Just that feeling of, it's like, oh, nothing really lasts forever. Everybody's going to leave. At the end of the day, I'm not going to matter to anyone. No one's really going to care about me like that. And the fact that Justin Russo cared about her enough to even want to teach her. And I think they're learning a lot from each other as they go down the journey of course, the first season of which he calls the rebirth, which I think is very profound because it really matches everything that's happening in the first season. So for me, I think it just means a lot to me because it definitely does show growth in a person. To me, that's beautiful to me is growth. Growth is so important and it can be such a lovely experience. So it means a lot.
And last quick question for the two of you. I mean, going back to the layer, that first scene back, my emotions were everywhere. But David, what was the first thing you noticed that made you feel like we are back? Like this is home. And then Janice, what was the coolest thing in that layer? I would be going around picking everything up, inspecting
Yeah.
everything.
um, you know, getting to act with Selena in that pilot really was cool for me because it was like our first time being Justin and Alex again, which we hadn't done in 13 years. And so that was really special. Like when she walks through that door and we had our first scene together, we made eye contact. It was like not a moment had passed. And it was crazy, you know? So that was a really special moment where I was like, wow, we're really doing this again.
The wands, when the wands came out.
Oh yeah.
It. That was it. Janice, what about you?
I think for me, the most thing that intrigued me the most was just like the scenery of it all. But when I looked at those chairs, I sat on it. I said, "Man, I'm about to fall back asleep. I'm about
And
to
those
lay
are the real
down."
those are the real chairs in the layer. They found
Yeah.
those in a warehouse. Those are like the actual ones. And we used to nap on those all the time. So like it's a
Perfect nap cap.
perfect nap couch.
Well, I could talk to you two forever, but I know I have to wrap. So just thank you so much again. I really can't
Thank
wait to see the
you.
rest of the show. And so special, guys. Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
You're
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
Hi, Mimi. Sophia Soda with the Nerds of Color. And I am so beyond excited to speak with you. The show Wizards of Waverly Place was my childhood and my
Oh,
favorite show growing up. Still one of my favorite shows. And this show just brought me back that magic in my adult years. So thank you so much for your time. It is really a pleasure to be speaking with you about it.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to hear that.
Of course. I'm sure you've been hearing that a lot over these days. This is a very special show. But
Yeah.
to start off, reboots and revivals can be a really scary thing when the original is so magical. And I do mean literally magical.
Yeah.
What stuck out to you about how this continuation was being handled? I mean, obviously, David and Selena being executive producers, I felt like was in such safe hands. But I'm sure for you signing on, it was a big task.
Well, to your point, yes. I mean, with David and Selena at the helm, and we have an amazing team of writers and producers, and everyone at the network supporting this and wanting to make it the best that it can be. I really think they were very intentional about how they put the show together and when they did it, and finding the rest of us and all of that. So, to your point, I think they're really wanting to pay respect to the original in that regard. But also, I think sometimes with other reboots or other sequels, rather, like you see these shows where they're trying to take one age group of the cast and then make it work for multiple age groups of viewers. And what's really exceptional and unique and exciting about our show is that the original fans like yourself have grown up and are adults now, and so with Justin Russo being a parent and having a career and all those things, that's what the adult viewers can watch and relate to. And our marriage, and I joke all the time, I'll read a script and be like, are you guys in my house? I had this exact argument with my husband last week. So we're really offering a multi-generational cast because we have multi-generational fans. And so you're watching our storyline, then you're watching the kids' storyline. We also have different age kids, so you're watching some middle school storylines, some younger storylines. So I think they've really hit the mark, and it's a hard one to hit, which is really having something for everyone and honoring the original show.
One thing I think is so underrated is the family genre, is the shows that are for everyone, like you were just saying. I think it's a missed opportunity a lot of the times, because my favorite memories are gathering around the couch to watch something with my entire family and having something that everyone can enjoy. I mean, my parents watched Wizards with me, like, because it
Yeah.
was for everyone. And I would
Yeah.
love your comment on that, just seeing, I'm sure you see the live taping, the fans, all the different ages, which must be so amazing.
No, totally, and you're right. It is so difficult to make something the whole family can watch, and this Wizards, the original Wizards was a family show for me as well. I have two little sisters, and so the three of us watched it together, and we have quite a big age difference. I'm 14 and 16 years older than them. So they were really little and I was, heading off to college. So it's very difficult to make a show. It's why you don't see a ton of them that you can watch with your whole family. But I think what Disney does well, and what our creators have done so well, and what David and Selena have really wanted to achieve, is that you can watch with a grandparent, a parent, a high schooler, a middle
Yes.
schooler, and a kid in second grade. It's and like you said, you see it at our tapings. A lot of our
Mhm.
original fans are parents now. They bring their little kids and they're there with their parents because they used to watch it with the grandparents. So to your point, it's the reason we don't see a ton of them is it's a really, really difficult thing to do. And I think what the original show has offered us in terms of being a sequel is the perfect foundation to do that for viewers now.
I can't wait for everyone to welcome the Russos back into their home. It's so special.
Oh,
Like,
well,
oh,
I'm
right?
proud to
I
be a
mean,
Russo.
I know, we're glad to have you. You were so good. I loved
Thank
it.
you.
I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
more of
Thank
it.
you.
But
Yeah.
without giving too much away, there was a Halloween themed episode, which was instantly a favorite. I mean, it was so much fun. I love a good themed episode. What was that like for you to do? And then are there any other themed episodes you would like to see? Like, if you could pick a theme, what would you want to see the Russos get up to?
So the Halloween episode was so much fun. And actually, just because of scheduling, we happened to shoot that really early in the season. So we were still, finding our groove in these characters and with each other and forming those really authentic connections. And so the Halloween episode was the perfect chance to do that. I mean, I think Disney is so known for amazing Halloween episodes, but
Oh, yeah.
particularly Wizards Halloween episodes were like some of the best ever. And so they wrote just a truly awesome episode for us. I had so much fun. I mean, to play a character that is convinced that kids are going to prank her house, so she puts on high-heeled sneakers and a camo jumpsuit is
We love
my
it.
dream. Like, is there
Love it.
anything better? So yeah, that episode in particular was really fun, and we had so many great storylines. And yeah, there are other themes coming up, but I think that's one that is sort of the hallmark of what the original show did so well, and I'm really proud of our episode. I think people are really gonna like it.
Oh, it was my favorite. I was
Oh,
like,
good.
we love it. We love it. We love a good themed Halloween.
Yes,
And
yes.
which relationship or character dynamic is your personal favorite to explore for your character?
Oh, that's a great question.
You.
I, it's impossible to choose because they're
There's
all
so
so
many
different.
good ones. There's so
Yeah,
many
right?
good
So like I
ones.
love the way that they write us as a couple because I think in so many other shows it's like the parents come in and they say how was school and leave and you know nothing about their relationship or their marriage and they wrote an episode actually recently where Justin and Giada are sitting on the couch watching a movie and she's scrolling on her phone and then she starts bawling and he's like, "Why are you crying? That's the bad guy." And she goes, "Oh, I got to stop looking at my phone." And that is a conversation that my husband and I have literally had where I'm like, "Who's he?" And my husband will be like, "That man has been in the movie for the full hour that you've been on Instagram on your phone." So like I just adore that they write us like real married people, you know? We have a sweet romantic anniversary dinner and we have little, moments where I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's really nice. So that relationship is so lovely. I love Giada and her boys. She's a boy mom. I don't
Yeah.
have kids
Oh,
yet in real life, but she has her own dynamic with them and they're so different. Roman is so much like her husband Justin, and then Milo is a little bit more like her.
he's a
So it's funny to
mini
see.
Justin.
I know he really is, and it's
Oh
funny
my
to see like
gosh.
as their mom
Yeah.
how my character relates to each of them because they are so
Yes.
different. And then with Billy, and Winter, especially Billy because she's living with us. Jetta doesn't have a girl, and
Yeah.
so there's something really special about the way they write that relationship. You know, they gave us a scene, it happens in the kitchen in one of the episodes, where she's really feeling down about herself and her ability to make friends in the mortal world. And she's able to have like girl talk with Giada. So, and Winter and I bake a cake because the boys are at activities and we decide we're going to do our own thing. And so
Yeah.
it sounds like a silly answer to say everyone, but each relationship is so different. And I love, they really, really give me so much material. The writers do such a good job of fostering how individual each of those relationships are.
No, it's so true. It's so true. I can tell you from watching the episodes I've watched, like each is different and unique. Seriously, congratulations on this show. I mean, I can't wait to see the rest of it, and it's awesome to have Wizards back.
Thank you so much. I can't
Of
wait for you to
course.
see it.
Oh, I'm waiting on the edge of my seat. So good speaking with you.
Nice talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Nice talking to you. Thank you so much, all of you, for your time. I mean, this show, I grew up an OG Wizards of Waverly Place fan. It was my whole childhood, and you guys are bringing me my childhood back in my adult years. It is so good to see you, and congratulations on a job well done, all of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Of course. If you were a wizard for a day, what would you use for your first spell? Like, what would you want? Would you make appear? What would you make do for you? Anything at all? What would the purpose of the spell be?
It might be wasting a spell, but I think that the McDonald's vanilla shake should be named McShake. I am sorry, but I am doing that. That is my spell. So they're calling it McNuggets, McFries, McFlurry, McShake. It should just be a McShake.
Right there.
So there.
I love how quickly you had that answer too. You were ready. Like this has
he
been
talks
top of
about it
mind.
constantly. It's so fun.
That's all that's on my mind.
I think I would use it to like upgrade my house. You know, whether that's like moving it somewhere or just making it bigger, maybe like a kitchen remodel, you know. I feel like that would be kind of a fun way to spice things up a bit.
Shake.
I love that.
You're the only one who wants the McShake, Max.
Okay.
I'll back you. I'll back
Thank
you.
Thank you.
The spell I would probably use is one to make all of my friends available at the same time so we can all hang out.
I love that. Love
Yeah.
it. Are you going to get McShakes with that hangout?
should.
Is that
Shakes
Yes.
for everyone.
Oh my
Yay,
gosh, I need
is that what we're doing?
Yeah. McShakes.
Yes.
What has been the most meaningful memory on set for you guys so far?
Well, we were about to start our first live show, and I was just so scared, and I was just like, I've had butterflies. It was my first live show of my career, and I was just so worried. And David pulled us all aside, and he told us that we're all doing this to make a kid laugh. We're all doing this to make a kid smile, and that just really got to me because I am that kid. I love Disney, and I have watched these shows. I've watched Wizards of Waverly Place, and it's made me smile. It's made me laugh, even when I'm not so happy. And I think to be able to make that like emotion for other kids, I think it's just so special.
My special moment actually happened a few minutes after Max's. When we all went out right before our live show in front of the audience and like said hi, introduced ourselves, everyone just went wild, like went crazy and was so excited. And I guess I wasn't really expecting that, partly because like they haven't even seen anything yet. And then I realized it's so special because we already have people who want to see this and are so excited from the original show. And I think that's really cool that we already have people who are willing to come out and see us without even knowing what it's going to be like. And I think that's really cool.
My most meaningful memory is probably at Talent 101 when I first got casted few days before, and we all met for Talent 101, and they just sat us down, and I guess they went on this long speech about how it's really only the beginning. I mean, the show's not even out yet, and we're already being so supported, and there's just so much more to experience, and how this can get so much bigger.
Which relationship character dynamic is your personal favorite to explore on the show for your character?
I like I like my relationship with Winter. There haven't been many moments yet, but I really like the moments where it really showcases that we've been friends since kindergarten and probably before that. We have the same sense of humor. We like the same things. And we're just kind of Winter kind of brings out the giddy side of Roman that you don't see all the time. And I think it's cool that she has that effect on him and that they can spend hours together and never get bored.
Yeah, I was just about to say I love Winter's relationship with Roman. Yeah, because they've been friends and they both have so much in common and yet they're both so different. And I think that's what makes their part of the relationship so great because like Alkaio was saying, Winter brings out the giddy side in Roman, and I think Roman really grounds Winter because, Winter, she's such a big personality and she just always wants to have fun, but sometimes that can put her in some dangerous situations, and Roman's always there to sort of ground her and bring her back to safety.
Yeah, I think a really interesting relationship is between the brothers Milo and Roman, because I feel like we're kind of the opposite, where he's so smart, Milo's not so smart, where Milo's more athletic, he's not as athletic. We're kind of like the opposite in so many ways, and that's why it's interesting because we would do anything for each other, but also we each have our own opinions and we each think we're right. So there's a lot of bickering and, normal sibling banter, you could say.
Yeah. Well, without giving too much away, there is a Halloween themed episode, which I got to watch and absolutely loved. What was it like for all of you to do that? And if you could create a theme for the show, which theme would you pick?
I thought it was really fun to do a Halloween episode. We get to kind of see some things from Billy's past, and some traditions, some normal traditions that most of us have that Billy isn't used to. But I think it would be fun to have a themed episode where everyone comes together. We invite everybody and all the people from the original show and everyone from the new show. We all come together to have a big celebration. That could get chaotic, but it would be fun.
Okay, so the Halloween episode for me was a really big one, especially because it was my first episode that I filmed as Winter. And so that really helped me get like a good feel of Winter's character. And it helped me figure out that Winter really cares about her friends and would really do anything to make her friends happy. And a themed episode that I would love to see, I would probably want a Christmas episode because I feel like
Jolly.
Yes, because I feel like the Halloween episode, Billy kind of treated Halloween like Christmas. So I wonder how Christmas would be for Wizards.
Yeah, I think for me, the Halloween was so much fun because I got to wear this sub sandwich costume and it was just I could barely walk. I could not sit down. Also, I got some candy in one of the scenes, so that was really fun. But if it were up to me, I would think that a really fun episode would be a New Year's Eve. Kind of everyone comes together for a New Year's Eve party. My birthday's on New Year's Eve, so I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, I think it would just be fun for something happens, but then we all come together and celebrate the new year. I think that would be a really fun episode.
Well, Alkaio, Taylor, Max, congratulations on everything. And I can't wait to see the rest of the show, and just amazing job. Seriously, it was a pleasure speaking with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The activists, directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC. In full color, you see me. The hard knock life, comics, movies, and TV.